All right, I picked this song to start off the show with. You want to hear it? This is a Charlie Puth rendition.
Charlie.
I think this is one of my favorites actually. I really like this part coming up. Listen. Yeah. He's vlogging here.
Oh, it's great. It's wonderful. Charlie's had some exciting
some recent success.
Life.
Yeah, dude. I've known Charlie for like 3 years. Well, 2 years for sure, at least. Because I think the first time I ever saw Charlie, he was on a live show with Dave Days on Blog TV. This is probably 2.5, 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And now Charlie Puth was just on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Oh, he so deserved it though.
And
he sang beautifully.
Yeah, they did this acoustic. Well, not an acoustic. They did a freaking what? I can't words. A cover.
A cover.
They did a cover of Adele's song "Someone Like You,"
and it's so good.
It was amazing. Can we just sample a little bit, just a smidgel?
Just
We're gonna have a smidgel.
Hi everyone.
There's Charlie.
Charlie Puth here.
And I'm Emily Luther.
By the way, both of these people just got signed to Ellen's record label.
We're going to be singing Someone Like You by Adele, and it's for the Perez
And I think he's
Hilton
better than
cover
she
contest.
is.
You do?
Oh, I didn't even know this, actually.
No, I think she's amazing,
this
too.
was Perez Hilton was having a contest, like a cover contest, like who could do the best cover of a song. And so this was part of Perez Hilton's contest.
So here's my question. What did they gain from the contest? Like, did they win the contest?
They got to go on Ellen.
Or was it like they did this and then
company.
Ellen saw them but didn't, like,
I don't
contest
know
didn't have anything to do with it?
Perez Hilton probably had something to do with it. He's like, hey, look, I got these kids. I can sing this great song for your show. And Ellen's like, I'd like those kids to sing this song on my show. And I'll get Adele, my friend from Britain, to let me have these kids from YouTube sing this song on my show. That's how I did it. Okay, so quit asking stupid questions. Listen to this song. Oh, you're so stupid.
You're a weirdo.
That's how they do business in Hollywood. She's pretty.
That's Emily, I think is her name.
But he sounded so good when they performed live on Ellen.
He did. It's true.
I like his singing face too. If you see it, it's like very like passionate.
I feel like live, he really did take it away. He was really good.
He had great personality too. He had like these like little eye movements I saw him do. I really like.
Did you see those? He's profesh, guys. So check it out.
Right here. Yeah, right there. Why are you so shy? I'm just like
so good. Shay's like, I want to see
that part.
Charlie.
Ellen, I want to be on your record label.
Ellen, let us be on your show.
Sorry, I was really loud right there, huh, Rolf? I really blew it out. I saw you. His hair.
Like, oh my gosh.
One of Rolf's hairs went poing, like when I yelled really loud like that.
You ruffled Rolf's hair?
That's how he's pissed. Rolf's. Oh, dude, stop! Put your shirt back on. Put your shirt on, Rolf. I'm not coming out there and fighting you.
Scary.
Did you see how pokey his nipples are?
Nope, wasn't looking. Was not looking.
What? Rolf drove, bless his heart, 1,800 hours to be here today.
Oh, that's
Where do you
the
live,
LA.
Rolf? You live in the
LA
valley?
For you.
I live in the valley, City Pacoima.
When he says he lives in the valley, he lives in Death Valley.
Well, normally, how many miles is it away, really?
It should be a 20-minute drive.
What's your longitude? What's your longitude and latitude, Rolf?
2 hours? How many hours?
2 hours and 45 minutes.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
When he says he lives in the valley, he lives in the Grand Canyon. That's what valley he lives in.
And you know what? There is a lot of road rage in LA, but you kind of get to understand why when you're taking 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Dude, it is the worst. Especially when you're watching your clock and you think, okay, I need to be there in 10 minutes. And you're like, I'm going to drive for a solid 10 minutes. And you just like, the traffic is like, no. And you're not going to get anywhere. And you like try to go around. You just play that whole game where you try to take different streets and you're looking on your GPS.
I guess there was some snafu at Wilshire. So as soon as we got past it, everybody, it was like the NASCAR, like go again, the restart, because everybody was just going
flying.
So
dude, I ran up to Wilshire today. I was all the way up on Wilshire. Dude, I saw that on my jog today.
Running.
I like to run.
Run, Forrest.
I think I should do a Forrest Gump parody before I shave my hair.
And I just kept running.
I think I'm gonna. What should I do?
A Forrest Gump parody?
Oh, I could do that for my Shay Carlos shoes coming out. Like do a Forrest Gump parody with my hair and just me running all these different places, and then it pans down slowly, and then I have the new Shay Carl shoes, the SC
that are
bearded
not
Supremes.
Technically running shoes, but you could run in them.
I can be a great chance to get me on video with some hair and some beard action.
Beard action.
All right, so this is the Shay Carl, Katie Lett podcast. That was, I think what we just did was the intro. Now I'm like presenting the show. After the kids go to dark, I'm Shay Carl. This is my wife,
After
Colette.
the kids go to dark?
After
we can't get the name of the show right. We'll work on it for you guys.
When the kids are asleep and we can talk about whatever the heck we want. Talk about our marriage of 9 years, almost 9 years coming up pretty soon. And we've loved each other almost the entire time.
Almost the entire
I mean, I would say a solid 70% of the time we've been in love.
My goodness.
The other 30%, I just call those the yesteryears.
The yesteryears?
It's so hard to say goodbye.
To yesterday.
Yeah, dude. I'll shut up for that anytime. Sing us a song.
It.
See, I try to get her to sing,
I
and she's like,
did.
"Oh, I'm embarrassed."
I'll sing. What do you want me to sing?
Sing a song right now. Sing a song about the heartland. Sing a song about your life. Sing it.
Well, you gotta give me a song, like a song that I know.
Sing Adele. This one. Sing this one.
I've heard that you're settled down, that you're found a girl, and you're, sing it with me, married now.
I don't know. I'm embarrassed. I'm blushing now.
That your
dreams came true. That your
I started too low. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. We can't sing that song anyways. All right, so let's talk about something real today. Let's have like a topic of real conversation that might actually better somebody's life out there
That's a good
somewhere.
idea.
Do you want to talk about? We were going to talk about like teaching kids how to earn money, but I don't know how many parents are listening to our podcast. Do you want to talk about? We could just talk about finances in general.
We could.
And everybody knows how we feel with.
It'd be great if we could get some tweeter questions.
We did that last time, but then we forgot to pay attention to what they said.
Well, no, we answered a couple of them.
Did we? Yeah, I guess we did.
We
but
did.
then they're always just like, oh, tell us about how big Shay's muscles are. It's sometimes it's hard.
That's usually what the questions are
They all
about. Shay's muscles.
It's inappropriate, you guys, and I don't appreciate
tell us
your
why you're
chatter.
so hot, Shay. Oh, seriously.
Have you noticed that a lot more comments have been coming in lately after I've been doing my little runs?
Stand back, ladies. He's mine.
I'm hers for all the time and all eternity. So let's talk
true.
about when we first got married. When we it's almost impossible to remember. When we very first got married 9 years ago.
Impossible. Oh, so long ago.
I remember one of the things I was excited about is I was like, whoa. Because you had some money, remember? You had like $900 in savings.
I had
or something.
savings, yes.
You had like $900 bucks.
Saved my money.
And then I remember because it was like, okay, we're getting married now. Well, when we decided
it's mine.
that day when we decided that we were going to get married, and when we went to eat right after, and we went to Subway, and I was like, it's like it doesn't even matter who pays for it because it's like both of our money now, right?
And then I was like, wait, I had
already eased in on your money because. So you had like $900. I think I had like $300. I was like the broke one, and you were.
At least we had something.
You were the big spender. So then we put our money together in an account. Was it a Wells Fargo? Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember.
Was it that same Wells Fargo?
No, it was a different account.
Because we had.
It was like Bank of America.
We had like a credit union that we used from our university for a long time. So, anyways, we got our first joint checking account. And I would say that if you're going to get married, and we have people close to us that do things differently. My mom and dad, for instance. Some people, I was going to keep it all like anonymous. My mom and dad, they have their accounts separate, but I don't know why you do that. They've been married, bless their hearts, for 32 years.
Yes.
But
that's worked for them. And that's good.
Yeah. So what do you guys do? I would say you got to be together.
And my parents always had it together. So I mean, obviously, because my mom didn't work. Your parents both work.
Yeah.
My mom didn't. She used to stay at home.
My mom's been working for a long time.
So.
But you work. You earn money too sometimes. Well, especially when we first got married, sometimes you were paying half the bills. You were a waitress and
we put it all together
on the weekends.
Though.
That one we don't
I
want to
did.
How
come I don't remember that?
We just really needed some money, and Mommy Tart had to go the extra mile.
Yeah,
she really pulled through the family.
Right.
So we got a joint account, and I was feeling pretty stoked. So we had like $1,200 and then we got married, and that was sweet because remember when we were driving to Vegas and we had all those envelopes of cash?
When people give you money for your wedding?
We're
all these. Yeah, we're rich.
We were like counting the cash. We had like $200.
I think we had like $600. We got like $600.
Did we have like $600?
Yeah.
So we're going to Vegas, and we got like $600 cash, and we got some checks, and we're like, being married's awesome. We're so stupid because we like went out to like nice dinners and we stayed at this.
It was fun.
We got a good deal on the hotel rooms. We paid $29 a night for our hotel rooms at the Stratosphere
cheap.
For our honeymoon.
We went to the Stratosphere in Las Vegas for our honeymoon,
and there was a lot of
Stratospheres.
Remember that nice fruit basket I got you on the second morning of our?
I don't know what you're talking about.
See, me and Mommy Tard, we were good boys and girls. We had never seen each other naked before we got married. Right?
We're gonna go into this conversation.
Let's talk about it. Was this turn out into like? Did this start
down and dirty? We started with finances, and now we're talking
now we're naked
about
all of a sudden
our honeymoon.
So there we are. No, I can't say that. Why does it always come to this?
I don't know. It always comes to this with you, honey.
Is it me?
Yes.
Is that the problem?
If
we
negotiate.
So there we are in Vegas having the time of our lives. We came back. And then was I working at After School Adventures? There I was because we got that apartment.
He was working like at an after school.
I remember we found this apartment. It was a 1-bedroom apartment. We paid $350 a month, all utilities paid. Everything. $350 a month.
That's like a whole nother story. We could have a whole podcast on that apartment.
Serious. 12 units in this thing, and it had the very first night, Minority Report had just come out. Remember, we rented Minority Report, and we went to bed, and we were all like freaked out because like Tom Cruise was so handsome.
It was so scary.
We were scared of his good looks, his courageous good looks.
You're telling the story weird.
Well, it was.
I think it was The Ring that we saw.
No, we watched Minority Report because it was a scary movie.
There's two different times.
Right. Well, anyways, we're laying there in bed, and if you know these old furnaces, they like clank. They literally, I'm not even joking. They sound like somebody has a hammer or like a large wrench.
And they're downstairs on the pipes.
And they're just hitting the pipes with a wrench or a hammer. That's exactly what it sounds like when these things are like sparking up to like heat up or whatever. And they stopped working. And so I went down there and I was like fiddling with this old boiler furnace. I'm like, what if I push this button or what if I like turn this water off? So I figured out how to like run this water because remember every morning I'd have to go down there.
Yeah, that was his job. Was he had to go like refill the boiler.
I got a hold of the landlord and I got us a discount on our rent because I was willing to go down there every morning at like 6 a.m. and like turn the water on or whatever I had to do so the entire building could use the hot water. So we were we were broke. I was making like $7 an hour. My checks were like $350 and that covered our rent. Mommy Tart was a waitress, and we just were poor, but we lived off, we had one car. Did you have you had your Subaru? Did your dad take that back?
I don't remember.
I remember when your dad took that back.
We just had it.
Because when we were dating, you had a Subaru that your dad let you use, and then we gave it back. Anyways, so we, we struggled. We worked, and and I was trying to find like what I was going to do. I was going to school, and we hadn't had any babies yet, and then like we started having babies like the second week we were married.
Yeah, that
was your fault, by the way.
Too. It wasn't my fault. Like it's a bad thing.
You're like, Shay, get me pregnant. You're like doing this dance thing. There was tassels and I remember there was like
you're misrepresenting.
A luchador was there and you're like, get me pregnant. I don't know.
Such a dork.
So I did.
Well, it was a mutual decision. It definitely was.
It definitely was. So I would say people who are getting married or looking to get married or in a serious relationship, finances are a huge thing because statistics show that something like 70% of divorces end in financial difficulties.
That's like the highest. That's what most of them.
Yeah, it's in financial
fights. That's like the highest percentage.
Well, because that's the most stressful thing. It's like when you don't have money.
It is. If you don't feel secure, you don't feel. Well, like for women, it's like all about security. Like you have to feel like you are safe.
Right,
and for men, it's kind of like
it's more like a pride thing, where it's like I got to provide for my wife, I got to provide for my kids. But it's tough because then you start like, pointing fingers like who spent all the money? Why did you really need to, spend? We've been in fights about money or the stupidest stuff. Like, why'd you spend $20 on this
but it's
thing
just
or
like,
whatever?
It's just because you don't have any, so it's scary.
Yeah. Anyway, so, you have to agree on money. I would say that's a major part of any relationship, and we've lucked out.
For any relationship, you have to sit down and have a real conversation about your goals with money and your ideas and what you want to do with your money, just to make sure that you're on the same page.
Yeah, you got to be on the same page, same track. So we were, but like I think you were always better than I was.
I'm always
I was
better at
Mr. Like, I'm gonna read
everything.
Robert Kiyosaki real estate books. I'm so smart. I'm gonna use OPM and OPW, other people's time and other people's money. I'm gonna leverage everything, and I got us 2 credit cards. We got the couch, 90 days, same as cash. We did it all. We were strapped to the gills, and it wasn't like, can we afford this? It was like, how much can
many
we
payments
fit into?
can we
pay? Because after a while, I got a better job, and then it was like, I can't afford that TV, but I could afford the payments. I'd have $5 left over every month after making all. I could squeeze that in just right there. And so we had it. Yeah, we had like couches and we got new furniture and stuff. And then pretty soon we started listening to this guy named Dave Ramsey about, cutting up your credit cards and not borrowing money and about all this stuff. And we're like, yeah, let's do that. And at that point, we didn't really have a choice because we had 3 credit cards that were. 2 of them were $2,500 limits, and 1 was $1,000. We had an HSBC, I think, or whatever credit card that was $1,000. So all in total, we probably had like $4,000 in credit card debt, and they were all maxed out because they were supposed to be for an emergency.
Yeah. No, we did not use them for emergencies.
We bought shrimp and steak and stuff like that.
Well, I guess what defines an emergency?
Well, an emergency is like if your tire goes flat or you need a new alternator or whatever. And I was thinking about this on my run the other day. It's like that's why you have an emergency fund. You set aside cash. That's why Dave Ramsey talks about the very first step is you get $1,000 cash set aside for an emergency. That's why it's like you have this little stack of money over here. And then when an emergency comes, like a new radiator, you need something. You just take a little shovel of that emergency over there and you throw it on the problem. And that's why that's why we started, $1,000 in the savings account as an emergency protector instead of a credit card. Right. Instead of having a credit card like, well, this is for an emergency. Because things happen. Emergencies happen. Kids grow out of their clothes. Tires go bald.
Yeah, like kids grow out of their clothes. That shouldn't be an emergency. Like that should be something you plan for. But because you're not planning,
Christmas comes after Thanksgiving. We have to buy presents for them.
No.
This is an emergency. Let's use our credit card. When you fight back, that's what Dave Ramsey was doing on stage with the credit card. You fight back because if we don't buy our kids plastic toys, they won't think we love them. It's an emergency. So you swipe your credit card. And then all of a sudden January comes along and you're looking at your statement like, who spent all this money on the credit card? Well, you said we had to buy clothes. I didn't. That's why I don't want to buy Christmas presents for these kids anymore. They don't appreciate them. They just throw them all over the floor. That's what happens.
It's true. Gotta plan.
Right, Raph?
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Is anybody listening? So, and then we did that. Help me out here, Tuts.
We didn't. Oh, well, okay. I don't know. We definitely saved. We got our $1,000 saved, and we just decided we're not going to borrow money anymore. We were done borrowing money. And it's kind of scary at first. You're like, oh my gosh, what if something happens? We need money.
What if an emergency?
We can't do it. What if the car breaks down and we need to buy a new one? And if we're not borrowing money, then we can't.
It's always like you can't get out of the bottom of a hole if you don't.
If you keep digging in it,
you got to throw the shovel away.
Yeah.
So we decided. Yeah, we cut up our credit cards.
cards.
Do you remember that? I wish we'd have filmed that, man.
We weren't filming back in those days.
We didn't film ourselves every day back
in those days. That back
was
in
the
the
day where
day.
we didn't film. We had a private moment to ourselves. I wish we had that though. I wish we had that footage of us cutting up our first credit cards. And we just committed we never used them again. And the only time we ever borrowed money after that was when we bought our house. Mm-hmm. Our houses. We bought 2.
We have 2 houses.
Oh, we got 2 houses. Look at us. We're so awesome. Anyways.
But we didn't.
And we did that smart too. We didn't do 30-year loans. We did a 20-year loan, and we got a pretty good interest rate.
The
first one's paid off. And we ended up.
How
long? We had that for like 6 years now. Haven't we had that? Or 5 years? That's a funny story. The day we bought that house, I lost my job too.
No, less than. It's like 4 years.
That's 4 years. Yeah,
we bought it right before baby Tard was born.
So I know we've kind of gone off on a lot of tangents, though, but that's, I guess, if you can pull anything out of this, is emergencies do happen, but a lot of times they are planned emergencies. Like, you got to buy your kids Christmas presents. Tires go bald, batteries die, things like that are going to happen.
Yeah,
so
Christmas presents is not an emergency.
Yeah, but some people think it's like, oh crap, Christmas is here. I didn't expect that. So that was our first thing that we did, is set aside $1,000 in an emergency fund, someplace where it's liquid, where it's easy to get to, like a money market account. We have ours in a money market
savings account.
Savings account, somewhere you can get to it easily. It's like you're not going to earn a ton of interest on it, but it's just there. And now we have, the next step after that is to start getting out of debt. But at least if you have $1,000 right there, then any emergency that happens, you can pretty much cover with $1,000, and you don't have to go into debt. You don't cover up one emergency by creating another emergency.
Yeah, and it helps if you sit down with your significant other and define, like, what is an emergency.
Yeah, what do you use this $1,000 for? It's like, oh, we saw that new flat screen TV. It's an emergency. Dancing with the Stars is on. I gotta see it. It's an emergency.
It's an emergency.
So that was what we first did, and then we started doing the debt snowball, where we just started paying off all of our debts, starting at the smallest amount of debt to the largest. And back in those days, that's when I was like all smart and suave financially, because I was reading all these books. So it's like, well, actually, what you should do is pay the highest interest rate first, because that's what's costing you the most money. Well, Dave Ramsey talks about you need to get, because, all of this change in your life and getting out of debt and creating smart financial decisions is just by doing the action. It's 20% knowledge, 80% effort. So he talks about, you start at the very smallest debt, whatever it is. What was our smallest? We had like,
oh, I don't remember.
I think we had like something for like $250.
We actually had like some collections.
It's like a charge off, like for $250. That helps your credit. Don't pay anything.
Yeah.
That was back in the day when we couldn't pay all of our bills. Anyway, so we started off with that. It was like this $250 charge off. I think it was for like a gym or something stupid. I hate gyms. They try to charge you for the entire life span of your working out. Like, you worked out? Hey, we heard you worked out in southeastern Texas last month. We're going to charge you for this gym membership you signed up for in Utah 7 years ago. It was something like that.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, so we paid that off first, and that just felt good. That was like a nice little start. Like, whoa, we paid off that stupid $250 thing. And then the next one we had was like something was like for $500.
Yeah, like once you pay off one thing, you take that money that you would have put towards that, and then you put it towards the other thing plus that minimum payment. Yeah, you snowball it. Then you pay that off, and then you have that big chunk of money.
So we paid off our second one. So now we have the payments that we were going to pay on that $250, and then the $500, whatever the payments we're going to put on that. So we take all that money and we put it on the next one, which I think was with our credit card. And we were already making minimum payments on that credit card.
We had student loans.
Student loans. So then it's like we did one at a time basically, and you have to pay the minimums just to keep them current on the other stuff. But I remember because I was paying like extra on this and this and this, and so I stopped doing all that. I just paid minimums on everything that we owed on, and I would just put everything extra we had on the smallest debt. So it's like little by little. Then pretty soon I was working on our third credit card, our last credit card. It's $2,500, and like I just remember paying that off and putting that on like the little dry erase board. Like every month I'd just pay a little, and I'd see it go down. It's like you're hacking away at a tree, just like, and finally that last chop. And then, like, we had all of our credit cards paid off, and it was like you kind of get. That's why he called it the debt snowball, because you get going. You start at the smallest, you get bigger, bigger, bigger. Then all of a sudden you look up, and everything on your sheet is crossed off, and you're like, yeah, we're almost out of debt. And that was, I wish.
And think of what you can do if you have no payments.
Well, that's what we're talking about. Dave Ramsey in his conference that we just went to in Long Beach. He said you can start to make you can start doing well if you don't have any payments. If you don't have a house payment, you don't have a car payment. A lot of people feel like a car payment is just a way of life.
Ugh.
Where, we haven't had a car payment.
Not.
When's the last time we had a car payment? 6 years ago or something?
No.
I remember paying off that Infiniti QX4 going to Wells. No, we had that the credit union, ISU Credit Union. They owned the loan on that Infiniti QX4. And the last day I went and finally paid it off, and I got the title. I was like, I finally own this car.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was like 1,400 years ago, I think. It was like in the 60s. That's when we paid off our Pinto in the 60s. Those were good times, huh, honey? It's all about the 60s. Okay, so that was what our conversation was today. Life and money as a married couple. Hopefully some of this knowledge helped you.
There's a lot more to talk about, for sure.
Yeah, we got lots of stuff to talk about. As you can tell,
well, even with just that subject, there's a lot.
Spit it out, Mommy Tard.
I don't know how to talk.
So what are we going to do? We got to go pick up the kids now from school?
Yes, we do.
And then we're going to go to karate.
And then we are
Carving pumpkins tonight.
Carving pumpkins.
For Halloween, it's Halloween. Are we going to do the trunk or treat? Casey, we go to this church where they do a trunk or treat, where instead of your kids going door to door.
Well, it's scary now because you don't really always know who lives down in every house in your neighborhood.
I think what we're worried about is our children being raped and murdered. It's the biggest concern that we have.
We're not going to let them go by themselves. So, not really.
So instead of going from house to house and risking the rape and murder, which no one likes these days.
Nobody loves that.
It turns out.
Seriously.
They put all the cars in a parking lot and then they just have candy out of the back of your trunk.
It's so much faster, too.
It is, really. Honestly, as a parent, I'm like, this is way better.
It's a way
we can get twice
idea.
the candy in half the time. I can almost get back to the football game. So we're going to do a trunk or treat. They do. It's fun. And then there's a bunch of little kids all dressed up. Me and Casey were talking about getting the trailer and making it like a haunted.
Making a haunted house in the trailer. It's a great idea.
Have a coffin in there. That just sounds like a lot of work, though. It sounds like a good idea. But it's like, who's going to spend all the time building that? Not I, says the hen. I got other stuff to do. All right, so this is podcast number 2. What are we at time-wise? Roth,
26.
We're at 26 minutes. What should we talk about? Something else? Let's talk about your new stuff you're gallivanting on.
My new what?
You got a new, I don't know, say something. Hurry, say something.
I just like letting
funny.
you talk because you're just.
I know, I feel like I'm talking the whole time.
Talky pants, man.
Are you going to say anything? Hey, I'm
talking right now.
I saw you
Shut your mouth for 5 seconds, will you?
I saw you on the front page of YouTube.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, dude.
Did you like what you saw?
That's a great thumbnail. I picked it. Wait.
Which one?
Oh, right there.
Oh, that one, yeah.
See that one?
Go check out my videos, guys. So I'm finally making videos. I know that I've been through a few spurts where it's like, guys, I'm going to make a video every Tuesday. Guys, I'm going to do this. And I get really excited and really motivated. And then the steam goes out.
I think the kids are your de-steamer.
It's just too, if I film and then I edit, it's like I'm taking all day, and the kids are like.
But you got a good team now, though. You're gonna be able to get some.
Yeah,
you'll
well,
really be able
and
to
that's
get some
the
stuff
thing
out.
is with Maker Studios now.
Oh, plug to Maker Studios. Hell, without Maker Studios, I couldn't be what I am today.
It's true. There's no way I could do any of these videos without their help because I can't edit. That drives me crazy, sitting there trying to edit and figure things out. And especially because I have so many ideas that I'm like, oh, that would be so cool if I could do this and this with my editing, but then I would have no idea how to do it and no time to learn. So I love Maker Studios.
Who's editing for you? Do you know?
Yes, his name's Nick. He's really good.
Shout out to Nick, who's really good. Is he filmed too?
No, Jake films.
Jake and
Nick.
Jake and Nick.
Sarah is producer, and so is Lisa Nova. She kind of started this whole the whole mom section of Maker, and we are just on fire.
They're
we're on fire. It's so much fun.
A posse of makeup and.
Well, it's fun
jewelry.
to be able to have these ideas and envision this great stuff and be able to make it happen. I mean, it's one thing to be Maker. Like, oh, I would love to do a video about this. I want to do this. I want to do this with my channel. But I can't. I don't have time. I'm mom.
And you got some hands now. Many hands to make light work. I think you guys are gonna have some good stuff. I'm excited to see the man on the street stuff that you guys did. When is that going?
The Moms on the Loose.
Is that what it's called?
Moms on the Loose. We were gonna call it Moms on the Street, and we that sounds.
Mommies on the corner. MILFs on the corner.
Yeah, so we changed it to Moms on the Loose.
Moms on the Loose.
But it's fun. We've filmed a few episodes already. So.
What do you got doing there on the loose when you're on the loose?
Well, we're basically just out talking to people about a subject.
Is it loose?
Yes.
On the loose.
Moms on the loose. Like this last one, we talked about kids and people's opinions on how many kids you should have.
You stop them on the street now.
How old they are and how old they think you should be when you have kids and just different things like that. Yeah, we just stop them and say, "Hey, you guys want to be interviewed for YouTube?"
What do most people think? They're like, "Yeah, I'll talk to these 4 hot chicks."
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
I know. I can only imagine what people think when they see you guys with a camera team, trying to talk to people.
We were out on Venice Beach, and of course we got a lot of the crazies. Oh, what you filming? I want to be on your show. And of course, one's holding the brown paper bag, and the other guy's like, yeah. It was, yeah.
Sounds pretty loose to me.
They were very loose, and we're like, we're talking about moms today.
Moms on the loose. Did they get like all serious? Like, well, I mean, because I can see some of them did.
Yeah. I mean, we had to just pick and choose who we had be on our interview.
Sure, excited
because some of it got pretty interesting.
I bet you it did, especially with Carly. Carly's off the loose chain.
Off the loose chain.
What?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm having. She
does a great job.
This Kool-Aid cooler.
She's just like you. She has no trouble speaking to people, so she did awesome. Of course.
Carly's me with blonde hair and bigger boobs. Way bigger.
So you bigger?
Mine are looking bigger.
You mean bigger like so you have boobs?
I do. I don't. Guys do, right? I got some pecs.
Moobs. Yeah.
Moobs?
Yeah. Thanks, Rolf. Me and Rolf have a moob meeting right after this. We have to discuss our moobs. All right, so great podcast today. We're happy to have you if you're here listening to us.
Thank you.
We're gonna sit down. We're gonna really get some segments hashed out.
Yeah, we're excited.
And we're gonna try to get like this into like a streamlined fashion of some sorts, so we're not just bouncing all over the place.
It's fun to just test the waters.
You know, we should.
So you guys let us know what you want to hear. What segments you might have.
We should try to get a phone in here. We do some some phone lines.
That would be fun.
Like with like viewer advice or something like that. Give them some viewer parenting. We're parents. Maybe we could like practice.
We could tell you what we do. We're not necessarily saying it's the way you should do it, but
we're perfect. Just do it.
We're perfect. We're amazing.
Brett smashing his face. That would be good because we could see like let's take some scenarios, some real teens have some real life issues, and let's address them here on the podcast.
That would be a great idea.
And then we could like practice like being grown up parents when our kids get older.
Oh, we could just practice.
I mean, well, like if we screw these kids' lives up,
sorry, guys.
Who cares? It's not our kids, but we could just practice on them. Like kids, if you got problems, call us and we'll try to figure it.
We'll practice on you.
If we can fix them, if you become a good person, then we're good parents, and then we'll raise our kids like that. But if you end up like screwing up in life, then we won't do that with our kids. Let's try that. Right? I mean,
Shay's so realistic.
Some people out there would be willing to give it a try. We'll just, we'll try to parent you and see if you turn out halfway decent.
Call in and let us parent you.
Rolf, get a phone in here ASAP. I want to practice parent some of these kids.
Oh,
I will do my best.
All right, good.
Ooh, that's funny.
All right, from Los Angeles, California.
Ad Maker Studios.
Ad Maker Studio. It's After the Kids Go to Sleep with Shay and Colette. It's the podcast.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to take this Kool-Aid cucumber and roll it out of here. Bye. All right.
We're out.
Oh, my goodness.